This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Mm. So today we'll talk about search service. Okay.
Okay.
So here is the central admin site, Sharepoint 2013, and manage service applications. In this, we can create any number of services here. So every time if we create any service, so that will be mapped to any web application. So just if I create a search service means just we have to click on search service application and then give the name of the application name and manage accounts and the app pool ID and the configurable account app pool accounts. Okay. Then click on OK. It will be created uh, search service like search service application and the proxy. Okay. So once we create the service application, so important one is if we click on the any web application, there is a in the ribbon there is one option called service connections. Okay, so if we click on this, so we can see what are the services mapped to the particular web application. So here I have created a one search service application. So here I can able to select it, and I can disable also by uncheck this box. I don't want any manage metadata or user profile like that. So we can custom this. Default by default it will be like this. Like the default services will be like this. If you want to customize this, just click on the customize. Then we can customize this. So this is the important one because suppose if um, I have two search services. You can see this enterprise search service application and my search service is also search service application. But if I go to that particular setting, if I enable the only my search service and I have disabled the enterprise search service, then the results whatever crawled in the service application, it won't be shown into the search results. Only my search results will be shown to the users. Okay. Now
So
we'll open
basically,
the
enterprise search service will be like configured by default, right? Whenever the
uh,
whenever
yes, yes,
SharePoint is installed and configured. So along with that, even like the enterprise search service will be configured along with it. Like I think so, right?
yeah, correct, correct. Yes,
And we create like our own search service with some customized features, right?
yeah, yeah, correct.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that search service now. Okay. So usually this is the out of box one. It is similar, like features are similar, but if you want to configure some content sources and all, we can see that. So this is my search service. Just I will open this. Okay. Mm, so search service. So here some of the properties like the status, this whether it is running or it is stopping, or we can see that crawl background activity, any crawls happened or not. and crawl rate, how many items are crawled, and how many items, searchable items is 59 items. Okay, and this is just overview of the how the search is working, like this, like the query rate and default access account, any crawls are there, so just it will show there. And these are the databases which created for the topology, like admin, crawler, content processing, analytic processing, query processing, index partition. Okay, so these all should be ticked, the databases are up and running. Okay. So here important thing is, there is a section called crawling. This is called search administration. We can say that, just if you open any search service, you can see this administration of the search. Okay, so in this search administration, one important one is content sources. So here content source is nothing but, suppose I want to crawl the content from different sources, suppose like file share, or file share I want to get the content to SharePoint. Okay, so how means, I have to create one content source, and source of the data is a file share. Okay, like that, we can get the data from SharePoint site, means we can create a SharePoint content source. So suppose if I create a new content source, so these are the details required to create a content source. Okay, the name of the content, suppose if I want to crawl the content like a SharePoint site, means I can give like a SP sites. Okay, SharePoint sites, and that source of the type, what is the type of the source, like do I need to get the data from SharePoint sites or websites or file shares or exchange, like a mails kind of a thing, or line of business data. It's nothing but some active directory kind of a thing. Custom repository, if we have any custom repository also, we can give the custom repository. So select the type of the content, and we have to provide the address. Suppose if I want to get the SharePoint sites, so I have to enter the site collection address here. Suppose like you can see example, it is given like this. You can give like a host name or a site collection name. So suppose if I have created one, this one, like just we will open this. So here I have given SharePoint site, and the site address is, I have given the uh, site collection address, SharePoint site. Okay, and enable incremental crawl I have given, and full crawl also we have discussed last time. Full crawl and incremental crawl, and continuous crawl also, like this. Incremental crawl, you can create a schedule also here, daily, weekly, run every one day, or just a second, Storm. I think the system. So I was talking about this content source. Okay. So once we set these settings, uh, so here you can maintain the call schedules also, like daily or weekly or monthly, starting time, and repeat every minutes for how many minutes it should run. Like that, we can set it. Like suppose I have to set it for 120 minutes or 140 minutes, like that. We can set it to here. Okay. The same thing for
I have a
incremental
question
crawl
here.
also.
I have one
Huh.
question here. So we are
Huh.
setting the calling time here, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So for example, if we are setting like some 120 minutes, as you said, okay.
Yeah.
So for
Hmm.
example, like in 120 minutes, it has completed only like some 20% of crawling of the overall content newly uploaded. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So in that 120 minutes, so like if another like uh,
Hmm.
some 200 MB or 300 MB of new data come into the SharePoint again. So
Hmm. Hmm.
again, so next time will it crawl? So will it crawl from the beginning, or will it crawl from the point like where it has finished the crawling last time?
Yeah, incremental crawl from the point where it got stopped, it will start from there. But full crawl, I think it will run like a fresh one, like a fresh index. You can say
Okay,
that.
so again from the beginning, right? So like it will
Beginning,
recrawl
yeah.
whatever has crawled again, or about whatever was
Yeah.
crawled already. So
Huh.
so it like restarts again from the beginning
Uh,
again, right?
yeah, it's restart from the beginning. Index incremental is it starts from where it stopped the crawling, then it will start from there. And
Okay,
continuous crawl means it will start continuous like every 15 minutes like that. It will start.
okay.
So that is the setting. Once we set this, here is the option to run the crawls. Like
So it is under
usually
like crawling section, right? On the left side, what did you select? Like crawling, so
content source.
contents. Okay, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, content source. If you click on content source, crawling is the section. So you will get these options. So this is the by default it will come local SharePoint size, but this won't be customizable like can. But I just created custom for this like for our understanding purpose. So once we click on this, here we'll get like edit option to edit whatever the source and crawl log. This is the give the like logging like how many items are crawled. This is same as here also in the diagnostic, same as this one. View crawl log and start full crawl. We can run them manually also. Like suppose start full crawl means it will run the crawling. Incremental crawl means it will start the incremental crawl here also. Okay. And once I run this, like suppose if I start incremental crawl now, so it is saying the status as a starting. Okay. And last crawl duration, so last how much time it ran for this source, and when it was completed, and next full crawl also. I didn't set any schedule. If we set the schedule, it will show that the date and time of that. Same thing for incremental crawl also. This is for full crawl and this is incremental crawl, and the priority like normal or high, we can set it. So once we run this,
So
just
what is the difference in priority, like normal and high means like what's the difference?
once it runs the crawl, it will pick that whichever one is highest. So it will pick the crawler and it will run the first for that.
Okay, so if there are
Suppose,
like multiple sources, so based on the priority, it will. That's what you mean.
yeah, yeah, yes, yes, correct. So priority that suppose normal means it will give the low priority. Like whichever has a high priority, that one will be called first.
So here in
Like
this case, both are normal, right? So in this case, how does it set the priority?
priority based on the schedules. Like suppose if we
Okay, okay,
run based on the schedule time, it will run that. Huh?
okay.
Okay, now it becomes idle. and so it got completed. Okay. Last crawl completed. It is saying that just now, and duration is 1 minute. Okay. So suppose I want to see like what are the items it picked in the search results list. Just go to crawler, and you can see these content sources. This is the local SharePoint. This is it is not run because that's why it is showing as 0 results. So in SharePoint site, this is the content source. So last call, last 24 hours, last 7 days, last 30 days. It's showing the timings. So successes is 100 items success. Warnings came like six warnings came, and one error came. Like you can check that items also. Like if you click on this, so here we can see these IDs. Like this is the important like indexing index of the item. We can say this. So here we can filter that items based on the content source, based on the success rate, and what start time and end time also we can check it. So different filters we can apply, and
So
these
it
are
will
the
show
items.
all the site collections, like everything under that application, web application.
Yeah, correct. So here we can see only test practice is the site. So we got only from the test practice site collection items. So here we can go to next page. Yes, you can see this test practice items. So like that we can come to know. Suppose if I want to search something like warning, what is the warning items and search. So these are the warning items. Like suppose the items all under will not be called because owner has a no crawl flag prevent to search from such. So some items are it is not under crawling because of the some permissions or something. So if any errors means also we can just go to errors. We can check this and we can fix the issues. Like that we can type the URL also. Suppose I don't want to go manually means what we can do is you select the status as all, then just pick any item here, just copy this and paste it here and search. It will show only that item. Okay, so we can search like that based on our suppose if any documents are missing, just if we type the if we provide that URL and search whether the item is called, we can continue. If the item is not called, then the search won't work, like the item is not available in the search results, we can say that. So that is the this one crawl log, this is an important one. And crawl history also we can see that, like the history of the crawling, like when it started and how many success warnings and all. This is a kind of a reporting kind of a thing, you can see that. Okay, so the important one is this one, what we have seen is content sources. Okay, content sources here. Okay, so here we can set like a call log, same thing as a call log, edit, full call, incremental call. These are the important things. And next one is crawl rules. Crawl rules means uh, this is once we crawl the content, uh, before or after we can set some rules to the content. Like suppose I want to exclude the content or include the content based on the regular expressions. Like suppose this is my site. Okay, so I just put a rule saying that if you want to create any rules, like suppose I want to include all the content from this site, means what I can do is just come to here, new, create a crawl rule, and here it will ask for the regular expression, like you can see here examples: http colon slash host name slash star. Okay, that means it should include all the content whichever starts with the host name. Okay, same thing as star dot star also, like a star dot star in the sense whatever it starts with http colon slash slash star dot star, it will include the content. Suppose I don't want to include the content means you can put the same thing star dot star, and here some settings are there, like you can see the call configurations. Exclude all the items in this path means it will exclude all the items whatever starts with the path. Okay, exclude complex URLs also. Suppose in crawling some URLs contains question marks and all, so that one it will be omitted, like that it will include the content in the search results. So in order to avoid those question mark results also, you can click on this checkbox, like exclude all the items in this path whatever starts with this path, and also don't include the complex URLs. So we can say that, and click on OK. Some rule will be created. Suppose uh,
Hello, I can't hear you.
suppose if I include it, like suppose I have given a path like this: https colon slash slash star data. This is the test site collection. Okay, and exclude all items in this path, and exclude complex URLs, and I can say click on OK. Use the regular syntax expression matching this rule. A crawl rule with this path already exists. Either modify the crawl rule or change the path rule with the applied. So it is not allowing because the rule is already set to the same site collection. Suppose if I set a new rule for this, what I can do is just go to this rule. Okay, edit this rule. Okay, so same path I have given. This time I will say exclude all the items, exclude complex URLs, and click on OK. So now we can see this URL, and it will exclude the content, and the order of this rule is number one. Okay, we can maintain that rules. Like that, we can create a different rule. Why it is useful is, suppose if any some secure sites will be there, like secure content, so that it should not crawl to the search results means we can set that rule. Like suppose if we create a secure site here, like whatever site collection, and I can exclude that and exclude the complex URLs and click on OK, then the content won't be shown to the other users. Only it will be I mean it will be excluded from the search results. Okay. Any doubt?
No.
Okay. Same thing
So
as the input.
if you don't write if you don't create any rules, by
Yeah.
default it will crawl everything, right? Within that web
Yeah.
application.
Correct. It will crawl everything, and also it will give all the results to the all users.
No.
So include also same thing. Follow links on the URL crawling URL itself. Okay. So it will set like some links will be there in the pages. Okay. So that also what it will do is follow links on the URL without crawling the URL itself. So that indicates that suppose I have the page, okay, ASPX page. So this page won't be crawled, but inside this page, if any links are there, means like some home link is there, about link is there, those links will be crawled. So that means home page of the page, home page it won't be crawled, but inside of that page it will be crawled for the follow links. Complex URLs, like as they mentioned, like question marks, whichever URLs we need to include means we can exclusively mention here. Crawl SharePoint content as a HTTP page. This is one setting is useful to give only within organization, like HTTP protocols, like whatever pages, it should give the content as a only HTTPS. It will not give any HTTPS. And this one is important. The default content access accounts means this is the system account. Whenever you are creating any search account, that by default it will give as a default content access account, because whenever we create a search service application, the same account should be reflected here. This account has a full access to all the content items and all for that. If you want to specify any different account, then it will ask for that. Like suppose I have mentioned one rule like a different site collection, and by default we select the default content access account. But these account do not use means like we can provide the account ID, password, and confirm password. It can be we can set it like this. So different authentication mechanisms we can set that.
So
Suppose
usually
if I set
whatever the account we mentioned there, it should have like some admin access on the form, right? On the search form.
yes, yeah, correct. So this is the system accounts. You can manage
Service
system
accounts.
accounts. Yeah. So anonymous access means it will be full access. Specify different account. Content access account is different. Suppose uh, basically we'll provide the username and password. Same thing for client certificates. So some authentication mechanism like forefront identity manager, some IS certificates will be there. So that certificates it will be trusted here, like certificate management. Usually we select this whatever the content access. Okay. So this is the important rule to include or exclude content in the search result based on the particular accounts. Okay, manage accounts. So here order is important. Every time if you create some rules, based on that order only it will execute. Suppose if I mention that suppose like one rule is from one document library, I can say that, and one rule is from one list means if the document library order is 2 nil, first it will execute that rule, then again it will go to third rule like that. That's the crawl rules. And this diagnostics nothing but just a overview like a crawl log I just showed you. And reports, these are nothing but just reports like how is the health and how is the query health. We can see this like dashboards, like how many items are crawled, what is the modified. So suppose if basically this report will ask by someone like a manager or anyone, like how is the crawl rate and how is the how many items are crawling, how many queries are performing. Based on this we can pull the report and we can give it to the managers based on this. Okay. Same thing for query reports also. Crawl report is nothing but whatever content is crawled in the SharePoint, that is nothing but crawl. Query means how many users are performing the operations. Like suppose we can see this is latency, like how many requests are it's generating here. Like suppose one it is showing that only one request is performed as of now. Like so it will show the different results here based on the dashboard. Like it will show, and we can get this report and we can show to the
So
managers.
basically here like query latency means like it's that item is still in the queue, right? Like in the crawling queue.
No. Query latency means like how many users requested for the content. Like suppose if I go to search center and if I type something in the search box, okay, that is nothing but it's a query to the content. Okay, so that is nothing but requests. How many requests are performing in the search?
Okay, so here it's not showing
So
anything, right?
it's just like a reporting kind of thing. So suppose if I just go to any site here, search center. Let me open any search center here. Mm, okay, search center is separate site collection. Okay. Okay. I'll show that search center. Some separate site collection will be there. I will show you that. So this is the reporting part. Diagnostics means is nothing but all the reports and the logs and usage also we can say this. So here like the default the reports are there. You can download it. No need to just for your understanding. You can see this like all reports and all
These
you
are
can
the
see.
standard reports, I think. If we need any custom
Yeah.
reports, we need to create on our own.
Yeah, we have to create our own rules like whatever call rules and all. Based on that, we can pull that. First, we will download this Excel and all like usage report, top queries by day, number of queries and all. Based on some filters, we can filter that, and then we have to generate the report. Here. Suppose if I open this top queries by day, I don't think so. Data will be there. Let's see. Any data is there. So it will show like total queries, number of queries, uh, based on the dates. You can see this. Here you can see the number of queries performed. PDF documents for 7 queries performed. Like that, it will generate the report.
So we have selected
On,
for a day, right? Top queries in a day, right? But it's showing like 7 days.
no, by default, this is out of box report. Okay, just it is saying that the top queries by day by day, how many queries are performed, it will generate that report.
So it's showing like 7 days in the 7 tabs.
So because the card we can see there is one more search service application also here. That is why it is showing that 7/1/2000, 7/2/2000, 7/3/2000,
So if you want to see only for a specific day, then instead of like this many tabs.
specific day. I think top queries by day is there. Top queries by month is there.
I
Mm,
think even if you choose month, it will select multiple months. I think tab wise. Every tab has one. I don't know. Can you try that?
mm, this one,
Yeah, top queries by month.
this one. Okay. It's showing on the monthly basis report.
Yeah, I was thinking only current month or current day, but it's also showing like the previous months, previous days. So maybe some
Yeah.
last 10 months, last 10 days, it sees, I think, I don't know.
No, I think when the crawl is set, like 2019 or something, the from there it is showing that the search service application. We can see there are two applications right in central admin service applications. So based on that date only, it is generated. Suppose you can go to central admin, um, manage service application. Here it is one more such service is there. Okay. Just if I open there, this is also crawl seed. You can see this 2000, 240 items, 475. Okay. So because of this, it was showing that all the months. If I go to usage reports, here also it's showing the same thing. I think we can, if you want custom things, just download it and we can apply some filters in Excel level and then we can show what reports also. That is the thing. Server mappings. This one is suppose if my any web application starts with some port numbers and I want to map to different server URLs means I can map it. So click on new mapping. It will ask like what is the mapping address to be given and what need to be shown to the search result. So let's go back to the search application. Uh, Manage service application, my search service, server name mappings. So I created one. Okay, I created one. Like I have mapped like whatever the host name starts with this one, it will be shown as a, like this https colon slash slash fantasy.com. So I just given as a example here, like how to map it for the server names. So here just I have given the source of the thing and what is to be shown to the search results. It will be shown like that. So what is important here is suppose if any URL starts with the port number, you can map it to the host name like this. In the search results, it will be shown. Let me open that search center, how it looks. Yes. So this is the search center. Normally, it is a site collection creator and selected enterprise search template. Okay. Suppose if I type test, okay, and enter. So I just map the server name map like this. Okay. Fantaso.com slash test practice is showing that. Suppose I don't want to show this fantaso.com because the URL is different. Okay. If you click on this, uh, you see the URL indicates that it is host name starts with https colon slash slash fantaso.com like that. Suppose if I remove this, this one. And whenever we are changing, we need to run the full crawl also, like uh, just run the full crawl. Yes, refresh it. So let it run. So once it completes like that, just it will take like 5 minutes like that. So I will show you that how the search results appears here.
Okay.
Mm, then this one is the next one is file
So for
types.
any kind
File,
of change, we have to run this full crawl, right?
yeah, yeah. Server name mapping. Some changes it requires full crawl. So that one we need to check like which are required. Like something like earlier manage properties, that one was the setting. It requires full crawl. Okay. Now the SharePoint version is changed like SharePoint 2019 and all. It doesn't require full crawl. So based on the version, usually we these usually we don't run full crawl. Sometimes it requires we need to run the full crawls. Okay. So file types we will see this. So file types means which are all the files to be allowed in a search center. Like we can see that ASCX, ASP, ASPX, DOCX, and these and all files will be allowed in the search results. Suppose if I don't want to allow the any file type like ASCX files, I don't require means you can remove that one also. Like selecting delete, then it will be removed in the search result. It won't show the ASX results. Suppose if I want to include any new file type, I can include also like select the file extension like a HTML or a doc or anything extension you can provide. Click on OK. Then it will be shown like this, like the file icon, and the icon is there. It will be there. But if icon is not there means it will show like suppose URL means it doesn't have any icon, so it is showing blank here, and URL just showing that. Same thing as SPX and that. So just to block the file types, like what are the file types to be included, and which one we can allow or not, we can decide it based on the new file type. Okay.
So I have a question here. Like for example, in PDF or Word or whatever, if there are any
Hmm.
scanned images, if the scanned images has some text in it, will it search it?
Yes, it can search it. Yeah.
Okay. Can you show one example? Like I don't know how
No,
to.
scanned image in the sense like how photos you are
For
saying.
example, like there is one logo. Logo says like Microsoft. Okay.
Uh,
And but the
uh-huh.
Microsoft is not a text. It's not a like searchable text, but it's an image. So
Okay.
like will that also search the Microsoft?
No, no. Scanned
No.
images, it won't work. No, no, it won't work because it should be recognized as a property. Because this all whatever content background is something like properties it will be created like managed properties. So that
So
I
if
will
you
show
have
you
such
that.
requirement, if you have requirements, for example, like there are some like thousands of some thousand like scanned PDFs, but still
Mhm.
like client business wants those to be searchable.
No, fonts means see, suppose PDF, whatever PDF if you are uploading, we should maintain some properties to the PDF, right? Like suppose there is a unique identity will be there, right? Like something like a content type. Suppose what is the type of the document or who is uploading and when it is uploaded. Some properties will be mapped, right, for the document. Based on that, we can pull the results. So inside that content, like inside thousands of images will be there. So it won't be, it won't be that much efficient to scan the content in SharePoint. Okay, not like AI and all. Like you are talking about AI, like suppose artificial intelligence, just to scan the text and whatever the text is there, then it will show the results. No, it won't happen in SharePoint.
Actually, the reason why I asked is like in documentum we have like third party. It's called as a adlib. What adlib does is
Mm-hmm.
like it will convert the what adlib does is it converts the
Mm.
image to searchable text.
Yeah. That is AI algorithm. That is like scanning barcodes and all, or some
No,
business
not the
cards. Yeah.
barcode, not the barcodes. I'm saying like the images because like in some documents there will be in the business
Mm-hmm.
documents there could be like lots of business documents which has only
Mm.
images, no text.
Oh, business
In that
card reader.
particular
You mean to say? Yeah, business card readers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So whether it could be most of the documents are of PDF type. So what they do is like they'll scan all those documents. They scan it.
Mm-hmm.
They scan it and they will
Mm-hmm.
upload to the repository, whether it's a SharePoint or
Mm-hmm.
document or whatever. But user
Mm-hmm.
wants those to be searchable. Like it has the images, but even in the
Mm-hmm.
images there are like text
Mm-hmm.
images. You got it right? What I mean?
Correct. But the text is storing somewhere, right? Like in any column or something like that, it will be stored, right?
Oh no, actually it doesn't store. Actually, so we had that requirement. See, when like few months back,
No. What I'm asking is, suppose if it is reading the text, so
hmm?
how it is storing that text? Whether it is storing somewhere or
Yeah,
just it
it
will
will be
store
stored.
on.
Yeah, it will be stored. It will be stored in the repository.
So
For example, like
yeah, so
in
that
SharePoint, it is
means
stored. Yeah.
yeah, that means whatever the technology, like you said that, like scanning the
Uh-huh.
text, it will come and it will store in any properties like that. So based on the text only, the search result will come, right?
That's
So
true. That's
same
true.
thing.
So yeah. So what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like since all the content will be like stored in the database as blobs in SharePoint, right?
Yeah.
So like the same way, like there will be a similar kind of repository, like but it has a SAN file server in Documentum. So even in Documentum, it doesn't search the images by default. So,
Mm-hmm.
for this purpose, like we have configured the adlib. That is a third-party software we have installed and we have
Mm-hmm.
configured with the Documentum repository. So, in that way,
Mm-hmm.
so whenever
Mm-hmm.
we upload any PDFs, so immediately what
Mm-hmm.
that adlib service do is like it will convert those PDFs into the textable search only for the searching
Okay.
purpose. Okay, and
Okay.
when we,
Yeah.
for example, like those PDFs has some logos, some scanned
Mm-hmm.
the logos, it has
Right.
Microsoft or
Mm.
like IBM or whatever. So
Correct.
when I
Correct.
go to my application and when I search with IBM, so it will also
Mm.
pull that PDF which has a IBM image. That's what I mean. That's
Okay.
what
Okay.
like
Okay.
I was
Okay.
asking. Like even in SharePoint, like well, the default functionality
Huh.
allows it, or you need to
Uh,
go to some third
no,
party.
scanned image, it won't, because if we can include that third party thing for
Uh-huh.
scanning and all,
Okay.
and then we can show that result. But default, it is not providing that facility.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that feature
Yeah.
won't be there by default, right? In SharePoint.
Yes.
That's what.
Yeah. Correct. Yes. Okay.
And also, I have one
Uh,
question, Krishna. I don't know, like if we have time today, that's okay. Otherwise, I may ask tomorrow.
uh, uh, yeah. Tell me now. No problem.
Maybe like it may like need like few minutes. So actually,
Uh,
like today we had a meeting with one vendor in like today, like so actually he was explaining about like how to install and configure WebTrends. That is a third-party tool for the data
uh,
analytics in the
uh,
SharePoint. So he was showing like to upload that installable file and then again enable it, something like he was showing. So I thought of
uh.
asking you, like, have you ever did it? Have you ever installed any third-party tool in SharePoint? So how to do that?
See, the installation always it comes like either WSP or some feature. It will be there. Like suppose DLLs. So basic thing is WSP only it will come. Usually,
No,
if
basically
I
it's a
go
setup
to
file. No, no. Basically, that is not like a development solution. That is not a like a solution to the SharePoint. That is a tool. That is a tool. WebTrend is a tool, third-party tool. So
uh-huh.
what he gave a demo today to us. So like tomorrow, like after few days, like I may get
Uh,
requirement to install install and configure in our environments. So, but
Okay.
actually, when he was showing, like it was not very clear to me since I'm like new to the SharePoint thing. So, what he was showing is like
Mm-hmm.
he went to like the site collection and he was uploading the TXE file. Then again in the app list, in the application list, it was showing that web trends. And again, like from there, like we need to click on enable so that like it will be enabled on that web application on that site collection level. So
Mm-hmm.
so that like what WebTrends does is like it will collect all the data and it will show the reports like it's a data analytical tool. I don't know like if you
Mm.
might have worked in any of your projects on WebTrends
No,
or this
no.
point
Web
or
trends.
maybe
Web trends. Yeah, actually, I didn't know that tool. But
okay,
usually, the third-party tools, like it will come like suppose, uh, like come here like this. Like in the central admin, separate section will come here based on the deployment of packages and all. Like WSP will be there. Through PowerShell, will run that and will upload it. That is one way. One
but
is
this is
the
not a
app cat.
WSP file. This is a .exe file. It's a setup file.
Okay.
It's
So
a tool.
.exe usually we need to run in Windows machine only, like just to run the Windows machine.
Yeah, because like what I noticed today is like he was uploading that setup file. He was uploading that setup file in the site collection thing. Then it
Hmm.
was showing in the app list. In the site collection, when we see if you see the apps, it will show the list of the apps,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
there it was showing. So I was a little like I was not totally clear about what I thought of asking.
Hmm. If you have any documentation, show to me. I will go through that. In your machine on I'll go through it, and
Okay, I'll check
if I
with my
get
team.
anything, I'll yeah.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
third party, there are various types. Like one is the WSP they will give, like a bamboo reports or Nintex workflows, those things and all.
Okay,
In
okay,
SharePoint also, these are the third party tools. Suppose like I want to install Nintex workflow, that is a workflow third party vendor. Okay,
okay,
so
okay.
that they will give to just to deploy the WSP at a web application level. Then it will be activated to all the site collections. Okay.
Correct, correct. So,
That one, yeah.
do you have any such third-party tool enabled on your environment?
Mm, I think we have Nintex. I should.
No, that's okay. Like, if you have anything, like, can you explain it tomorrow?
I think third party. This is development environments, so we don't configure development. Only in production. Production, I don't have access for that. Central admin to show that.
Even in the dev, there should be,
Only
right? There should be like basically they should be also have like
no.
if you
This
also
is dev environment only. These are dev environments.
okay. So what I'm
Only
saying is like if it is in the production, it should be also there in dev, right?
no, no. Actually, this is not total replica of the thing.
Okay, okay.
Just they have given for development only, just not to install anything on this service.
Because like if we need to fix anything, first we do in dev, right? Whatever it is, like we don't do directly on the production, right? So that's the reason I'm asking.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. But in this environment, there is not this. But usually, they have other servers. They want to test it. This is servers given for the development.
Okay.
Okay. If you have any document, we'll
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that. Like,
I'll try to get it from dev team because like
hmm.
team they already did
Yeah,
it on.
you can get the document and just go through it like how it is and all. And if you don't get anything on the SharePoint level, I can explain that like what are the things you need to
Okay, yeah, I think like
configure
maybe
and all those
development
things.
team already had some detailed demo with vendor, so I'll check like they may
Hmm.
have some documentation on that.
Okay, okay, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now the full crawl is completed. Okay. So I just want to show you that like how the results like. For server mappings. Actually, earlier it was showing the console.
Correct.
Now it is showing as only
As a
the
server
starts with yeah server
host,
name. It is showing.
host.
So like that, it will replace the server name mappings here. Okay, that is the one.
So
Server name map.
instead of search, we can also like do the these host mappings for the regular sites for the
Yeah, we
regular web
can do.
application.
We can because
So will it be done
there
on
is
the central admin level or the load balancer level?
in the center admin level we can do that.
Okay, because basically in load balancer they give the virtual host name, right? The name mapping will
That also given, but in SharePoint level we can set it on the AAM concept is there, alternate access mappings. Okay, that
oh,
concept it will gives like how to access the sites in different zones like intranet and internet. There are 5 zones will be there that I will explain you next. Okay.
yeah. I think I worked on that alternate access mapping, but I don't know the concepts. Maybe when you explain, I it will be there.
Yeah, actually that's a simple thing. Like I will explain.
Okay.
So file types is we have discussed. Index reset. Index reset is nothing but just to reset the index. So this is not required every time. Like only if the anything is crashed or something like that, then only this index reset will come into picture. Before going to reset, we need to deactivate the alerts. Like if we always it will be deactivated. So you no need to do anything. If you want to, whenever the index is reset, if you want to generate some alerts, means you can uncheck this. So this there is no difference here. Like just to reset the indexing for this.
So when we
Pass
run
and
the full crawl also, it will be reset, right? Automatically, it will reset and it will start the full crawl, right?
yeah, correct.
So why we need to like separately reset this one?
Well, this is actually suppose some search queries or something at the database level, something like that. It happens means it will reset that. So usually it will erase this content and it will index it. Like what you can say. Actually, we I didn't use this basically.
Okay.
Just we
So
need to
basically,
reset the.
indexing is something like which runs below the crawling, I think. Underlying, it's underlying service for crawling, I think. So indexing should be done for crawling, I think, right? That's what you said, like in one of your explanations.
Yes. The indexing will starts here, but it is erasing also the index.
Correct, correct.
Like it will erase the index also.
I mean, for example, like
I
if there is no indexing, when we upload the content and indexing is not done on the content, so does it? It means like
mm,
we can't like run the crawl on it, right? On the unindexed content.
mm, unindexed content. Oh, sorry, I didn't get that. Can you repeat
So,
that?
so what I'm saying is like, for example, I just created some content on the SharePoint, I uploaded some documents, and
Okay, okay.
indexing is not on. So indexing is not happening on that newly uploaded content. In that case,
Okay.
like even crawling cannot be started, right? We cannot run the crawling on unindexed content, right? So first it has to index, then only we can do the crawling on it, right?
No. Indexing it will come at the end. First, it will crawl. Means what are the things need to be picked from that particular source. Then it will be indexed.
Okay,
First
first
stage
crawling,
is
then index.
crawling.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, crawling is first thing. Indexing is second thing. Yeah.
So for example, like if the content is crawled but not indexed, will it be searchable?
Uh, yeah, it will be searchable, but indexing means
So what does indexing do?
so based on the setting we can avoid that, like whether it is searchable or indexable. That one setting is there in the result sources that we can set it that there is a concept called result source. Here it is there. Okay.
Okay.
Here it is a new result source. So One second. Where is that? Let me check that. One second. I think it will come in the schema. One second. That schema. New management. So that means you asked that like searchable, yeah, it will be available to that search results. Only the full text index it will come like here. Uh, so there is some settings like a full text index. It will be there. So it will be searchable that content without indexing also. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
So next go to this.
Yeah, can we stop for the day? It's like almost quarter to 10 for me.
Sure, sure, yeah. So we'll complete this one only. Like index reset we have discussed. Pass and resume. I think like this we already discussed that last time.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
If you want to pass it means you can pass it.
Correct, correct. Yeah.
There is no thing. PowerShell also you can do it here. And the crawler impact rules. Uh, this is nothing but so how the queries, I mean request sent it to the crawler. Suppose if load how the load will be maintained for the crawler for this. So without impacting the crawler, how many requests should be sent simultaneously? So here, suppose there is one public, I mean public publishing site. Okay, so the usage of this publishing site is more. Okay, and users also more. Like suppose 2,000 users or 3,000 users will be there. So if they perform the crawling, I mean the searching and all, so it will be huge. Like number of queries will be huge, and it will hit to the number of requests to the server. So to avoid that frequency, we can set the request also, like how many requests we can set it up to, how much time. Here we can set it by default 8 requests we are sending, like at a time simultaneously 8 requests we are setting. So we can set it like a 3 or 4 like that. We can set it, or else we can set how many documents at a time we need to show in the search results. So by default, when we search anything, it will come like a 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 results is coming. So instead of that, we can set it like specific documents, how much documents it should come in a per second. Like that, we can set it. Not at the content level, at the crawler level, we can set it. Like to avoid the burden on the crawler, we can set it the number of requests and number of documents. We can set it here based on the impact. Okay. So that was the crawler impact rule. Okay, fine then. So these two sections over. The remaining is this one we will discuss tomorrow. This will complete it. Such. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll
Okay,
try
fine.
to find a document for the web trends, if possible, and if I get it, I'll email it to you immediately.
Okay, okay, sure. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.